I think we're ready to go live. Sauce. Music for going live. I have a playlist for going live. But let's. Okay. Confirmation that we're doing it. Music. And I think. Okay. Let's go with this one. What's up, everyone? Happy Friday. Yo. Sorry I'm late. Took me a little bit longer to get set up today. I apologize for that. If I bring it down. Alright, hello everyone. Happy Friday. Happy March 22nd. We're vibing. Let me do an audio test really quick. I'll be right here. Okay, if I go back a little bit, it's all pretty loud. This is the whole way. Yep. My camera. You can hear that thing. So turn that off. We're going through some checks. But yeah. Let's see. We are watching from the world, from our place in Colorado. Hello. Let me finish my settings check. And possibly why output. Okay. Audio bitrate, sample rate. Honestly, I don't know if some of these matter. I can't change it without stopping my stream. Buffering. And I don't think it's a... I look good there in the camera reflection. Mm-hmm. Let's say it's a little loud. So, contrast, hue, saturation. What's default? I think we go there, and I think my voice is fine. Oh, right. Okay, so happy Friday. Sorry I'm running late today. Hadn't streamed in a while, and the last two I noticed that needed to put some more time into the production side. And so rather than rushing again to just go live, I decided to wait, put things together at the level I want them to. And I will say that I'm probably still some tweaking with some settings. So you might see me at times be distracted by that. But it's all for capturing the points of view of things I want to talk about, passionate about, and want to share. And hope you stick around and let me know how I'm doing. It's been a busy last month, but pretty good last month. Event production, always kind of like so much goes into it that whenever I'm working on an event and it's a smushed timeline, it can very easily creep into some of the other things I'm doing, and you can see that happen with my channel. That as this project was kind of like presented and needed someone to help lead it, I said, I can do that. But between that, some of my other volunteer roles or responsibilities, and my day job, been working to just all that work combined has led to like less time to video edit and then like post and produce content. And so after tomorrow, after the event, we're gonna see that equation shift, and even with work, see focus shift on closer things to my skills, and I think a better cadence. But that's kind of like the life update. It's still something that is like politically relevant, is putting on like a political fundraiser and creating space for activism. So it's very aligned with what we're doing here in the channel, and a lot of the skills that I am developing within myself or helping develop with others, like fundraising and event planning and just outreach, I guess. There's a lot of outreach, like marketing, will have these like reverberating effects. And I guess when I signed up, I didn't know quite the extent, but I knew that it was a good time for me to potentially take on a project. If I knew some of the lessons now, I may have done things differently, but that's just part of the process, and I'm pretty happy with the event we're putting on. Not a community-driven event, so I won't mention it here, I guess. I don't know where the best places to put that overlap line is with some of the orgs. But we'll just stay away from it for now. But howdy doody. Let me turn on one more light. It is pretty toasty in here. And I have the window even open a little bit, which is a reminder that come summer, I need a better streaming space. Um, I mean, I could potentially bring like an AC unit in here, but then it's really loud. And so it's okay to get work done, but when it comes to streaming, like temperature of location actually matters a lot. And so that's like it gets hot here in like spring, summer, and trying to do stuff during up until, I mean, if it's 90 degrees out to like 7, 8 p.m., which maybe isn't the average, but it can get up that high where it's like hard to just like do other daily things. It's gonna be something to navigate if I and as I pursued streaming more. So I don't know what that means for us, but we're chilling. If you're here, if you're chilling, let me know. Drop a comment, drop a like. Today we actually don't have much going on. I just wanted to do the due diligence of this show to a certain degree. We can certainly get into a few things, but it can be really hard to keep up with the legislative session. Returning back to Colorado policy angles and the things we want to share about and help breaking down these barriers to politics is it can take a team, or it does take a team and some type of full-time some amount of hours a week to really follow the legislature, keep up with the bills, be able to have measurable impact in terms of having voice and proposing amendments and digesting the best ways to navigate bills with elected officials. And on one hand, there is parts where it's very important to get mass public sentiment to showcase the interest and backing you have. But to organize that as well as to have the people necessary to channel it in fighting for that impact is a whole. I knew it was hard and I knew it took a lot, but just again this year as I tried to keep up and had other aspects of life where it's like something that you need that extra resources to do, or just like deep levels of like networking. But I mean, that's some of the interest in some of my show segments and ways I want to outreach with elected officials and organizations can help break down barriers to that as I allow and engage people to help send me stuff, and so there's this dialogue. But we're still building some of that infrastructure, and it's something I guess to always like take with me, and we're gonna still try to use our voice on some policy related topics. I'm just like further behind than where I want to be, which can be a hard energy to like face and process. But this work in field may not be an easy one, but the positive impacts can have through pursuing it is worthwhile to the process. And there's fun, there's bright moments that are in there that make me enjoy the process. It can just move slower than I want it to, or I need to think longer time frames in having the impact I want. And so one of the reasons I'm continuing to keep up the community driven policy impacts show is because I'm learning the skills and building a format that may not have a lot of impact this year, but can learn from to have success in future shows, and maybe even doing this show again next year. Maybe next year we just like have a studio and a support team, and we're able to raise or get sponsorships to help cover a larger operation. And maybe next year it's just like 2 people or 3, but each year can be a progression and showcase of a format and a way to break down barriers and improve policy design and change. So that's what we're about here at Community Driven, and we're figuring out as we go. And thank you for sticking around. I don't really have an agenda. We can look at some bills today. There are some upcoming environmental policy bills that can discuss with some of our time. Me just like searching my memory banks of things that happened recently is the weapons used for mass shootings ban made it through the first step in the legislature. A number of gun safe bills that showcase where like 80% of Americans are. On like a lot of these bills, it's like the majority of Americans, but because of lobbies and some people not wanting to take the fight forward because of like pushback or not having the community support, we're now at a point where we're organized and making that change to make our places and society safer. So there's a number of fronts where this is happening, which is amazing. Let me jump into the Colorado Legislature website. And we will be doing some scouting briefly. Let me pull up 2 tabs. And Drive documents shared with me. Reset. Okay. One's coming through this week. Those were yesterday. That one's April 4th. Those were 2 days ago. Heidi whom? Bills. Let's look. Heidi whom? Heidi hoo. I don't know if I have the up-to-date information on some of these. Let's see. All bills. Yeah, I guess without direction, I'm not quite sure how I want to take this. I mean, my wheelhouse is environmental background. let's take a look at one of these. Let me switch over. Perfect. So the one I was just talking about prohibits certain weapons used in mass shootings. Prime sponsors Tim Hernandez and Elizabeth Epps. And we're going to look at this one. Prohibits certain weapons used in mass shootings, considering prohibitions on certain firearms used in public mass shootings. And this is the summary. The bill defines the term assault weapons and prohibits a person from manufacturing, importing, purchasing, selling, offering to sell, or transferring ownership of an assault weapon. This bill further prohibits a person from possessing a rapid-fire trigger activator. A person in violations of these prohibitions will be assessed a first-time penalty of $250,000 and then $500,000 for each subsequent violation. This prohibition does not apply to a member of the United States Armed Forces, a peace officer, or other government officer or agent, to the extent that the person is otherwise authorized to acquire or possess an assault weapon and does so while acting within the scope of the person's duty, if it's part of your job or duty. The manufacture, sale, or transfer of an assault weapon by a licensed firearms manufacturer to any branch of United States Armed Forces or to an entity that employs peace officers for use by the entity or its employees. Transfer of assault weapon to licensed firearms dealer or gunsmiths for the purpose of maintenance, repair, or modification, and the subsequent return of the assault weapons to the lawful owner. Any federal, state, or local historical society, museum, institutional collection that is open to the public, provided that the assault weapon is securely housed and unloaded. Forensic laboratory, or any authorized agent or employee of the laboratory for use exclusively in the course and scope of authorized activity. An entity that operates an armed vehicle business and an authorized employee of the entity while in the scope and course and scope of employment. A licensed gun dealer who has remaining inventory of assault weapons as of August 1st, 2024, and sells or transfers the remaining inventory only to a non-Colorado resident, and the sale or transfer takes place out of state, or a peace officer. And it passed. House bill goes to the floor of House second reading laid over daily, no amendments. So they read it the second time today. All right, so it's getting through the House. Let's read this definition one more time. Bill defines the term assault weapons and prohibits a person from manufacturing, importing, purchasing, selling, or offering to sell or transferring ownership of an assault weapon. I think we have to go in here to just figure out a person from manufacturing. Let's see. Mass shootings are a significant component of the distinctly American epidemic of gun violence. Gun violence of all types are ongoing, growing threat to the public health and safety of all Coloradans. As preventable gun deaths from all types continue to devastate families and communities in the form of state violence, completed suicides, interpersonal violence, and accidental deaths, assault weapons remain a preeminent factor in the devastating crisis of gun fatalities. In recent years, Americans have endured an unfathomable average of more than one mass shooting per day. Consistently, deadly mass shooting incidents are in the United States involve the use of an assault weapon or high-capacity magazines. Such instruments have no place in a civilized society. Even as Colorado has undertaken some concerted common sense efforts to decrease gun violence, Colorado has still been the location of several mass shootings perpetrated by assault weapon. Well-known places that should have only been known as sites for safe, joy, learning, commerce, and care are instead forever associated with tragedy and mass shootings. Colorado locations that become household names because of mass shootings include Columbine High School, Century Theater, King Soopers, Planned Parenthood. Halloween Eve, Club Q. Assault weapons and high-capacity magazines are disproportionately used in mass shootings, and the reasons are both obvious and irrefutable. Assault weapons are uniquely lethal by design. They entail tactical features designed for warfare, refined to maximize killing in large numbers of people quickly and efficiently. Tactical features are not just cosmetic, and they're not minor. They differentiate by allowing the shooter to better conceal weapons, make it easier to fire a high volume in a short period of time while maintaining accuracy, maximizing catastrophic injury, and providing ease for use. Assault weapons are not suitable for self-defense and are not well suited for hunting, sporting, or any purpose other than mass killing. The firearms industry has specifically marketed assault weapons as tactical, hypermasculine, and military style in a manner that overtly appeals to the very people most likely to acquire such weapons as a means to gain infamy as a mass shooter. I don't have anything to say to this point. Going back to this point really quick. Yeah, if your gun can fire that many bullets so quickly, meant to just like destroy, commit murder, destruction. Like, where's the sport in like an actual like slow and steady? There's many other types of like sporting guns. And it really is like you could make an argument that like that's the sport. You're like, this is the assault gun trials. But really it's not like that impressive compared to like actual some of the sport and hunting and like accurate type challenges. It's critical to limit the prospective sale of assault weapons and accessories while permitting existing legal owners to retain the assault weapons they currently own. So if you have one now, you're fine. Just as the design of assault weapons maximizes their lethality, policy designed to interrupt the proliferation of these weapons has been shown to be just as successful in decreasing deaths. Banning assault weapons leads to a drop in mass shootings and gun massacres. In the 10 years that assault weapons were limited by federal ban, gun massacres dropped drastically by at least 37%. Conversely, after the federal assault ban expired in 2004, gun massacres skyrocketed by approximately 183%. Federal provisions are not alone in curtailing mass shootings. Indeed, state prohibitions are associated with a lower likelihood of a mass shooting event, low likelihood of death due to a mass shooting event, and lower gun their death rates overall. Ban on knowingly manufacturing, importing, purchasing, selling, offering to sell, or transferring ownership of an assault weapon, causing the manufacture, importation, purchase, sale, offer to sell, or transfer of ownership of assault weapons in Colorado is in the best interest of the citizens and guests of our great state. As used in this part 6, unless the context otherwise requires, 50 caliber rifle, and it means a center fire rifle capable of firing that type of cartridge. This term does not include any antiques, shotguns, including a shotgun that has a rifle barrel, or any muzzle loader that uses black powder. A semi-automatic rifle that has the capacity to accept a detachable magazine, or that may be readily modified to accept a detachable magazine, and has one or more of the following characteristics: a pistol grip or thumb hole stock. Okay. I think those are the things that attach to the front. Any feature capable of functioning as a protruding grip that can be held by a non-trigger hand. a folding, telescoping, or detachable stock that is otherwise foldable or adjustable in a manner that operates to reduce the length, size, or any other dimensions so that you could hide guns. A muzzle brake, I don't actually know what that does. A functional grenade or flare launcher. A shroud attached to the barrel, or that encircles the bearer, third barrel. All the following rifles, copies, duplicates, variants, or altered facsimiles with the capability of any such weapon. All AK types, including, and then it goes and names all the types of guns that fall. So it's pretty detailed in what you can't have. Uzi, okay, yeah, fair. Who needs like Uzis and yeah. Semi-automatic pistol, except a detached magazine, or that may be readily modified to accept a detachable magazine. Well, semi-automatic. You can have an automatic. If the semi-automatic pistol has one or more of the following features, and then it goes through the features again. Defining terms. I don't know the peace officers. Somewhere else in the law code it defines that, or actually maybe even in this document. Okay. The transfer an assault weapon to a licensed firearms dealer for temporary storage. I think, okay, I pretty much understand. And safety clause. General Assembly finds, determines, and declares that this act is necessary for the immediate preservation of the public peace, health, or safety, or for appropriations for the support and maintenance of the departments of the state and state institutions. Essentially, we went too far by not keeping the ban when it was assault weapons were banned, and have let guns go too far that some of these weapons have less usefulness as self-defense and the propensity and possibility to be used for mass murder and violence. And that is more important than people culturally liking some of these weapons and firing them and doing it as like a hobby, because there are those who, and our system is messed up where we allow mentally unwell people access to these weapons, and we're not taking care of our people well enough that it is a big enough issue to remove these at least further becoming an issue in our state, which I can get behind of. There's no, like, in the Second Amendment, the protection of like access to arms, it clearly says in the Second Amendment a well-regulated militia, which we don't have a well-regulated system right now, and need to move as quick as possible towards things that create safety and security for our communities. And that supersedes other things. And this will be going to the Senate. I don't think they've defined where that's going into the Senate, but to be voted on and then signed into law. Um, so congratulations on going through it, getting past 7 to 3 votes. Um, like personal story, like vulnerability. Um, especially as I've been like exploring being gender fluid and other forms of expression, like decisions I've made for security reasons, because there are some people who carry a lot of emotional weight, fear, hate, who easily have access to guns, and the likelihood goes up of something happening in some of those like spaces and celebrations. Um, and like to the point where I've written in journals like if I die today type letters. And while there's like some stuff in there that like I would want family members to know and like and feel the love and gratitude I have for them. In some ways, it's awesome. It like is like therapeutic in a way to face it, but it doesn't change that our society still isn't safe, and we have these like traumas and tragedies, and I think we're letting weapons manufacturers just get away with profiting on the back of gun culture and not facing this. And until we face this, like we won't have a safer society. And this is just yeah, in this specific area and this like American issue. Um, and we do have that weird history where like people hold on to their like right to a gun, but there should be a limit. Like everyone shouldn't be able to have like an RPG. Like definitely should be a limit. There definitely I think should be gun licensing programs where you get your like attach yourself to a gun club, get proper training, and you're connected and responsible, and the gun club's responsible to promoting the safety and like the storage and the even having these opportunities in the first place. And included in that is mental health screening and support, which I do think we should just like have as a country anyways. So it's not like I'm adding on more to people who enjoy guns, but like you should have mental health and just like like general societal support as well as everyone else. But definitely if you're going to be owning or storing weapons. Those are my thoughts. How do I pick other bills to look at today? Uh I don't know exactly what I want to look at. Um uh why is it getting hotter? It's like getting later. We. I might end it early today. So I have some errands I need to run and prep for tomorrow I want to do. Oh, if you're seeing this, I just want to brag that I'm royalty now. It says prom court. I went to an event where they had a nomination process for royalty. Event prom, thrift prom, adult prom, royalty. And I won. Well, I got like nominated, so I was like top 6. So, all that to say, I'm royalty now. And I'm totally not going to let it go to my head, but I will mention it to people. And I can do those things at the same time. And I think this is how people become royals and nobility. We will look to see if any bills catch our mind that are coming up to committee soon. Or maybe to third reading. Bill history. Unamended to finance and the House side. Finance committees are interesting. They hold so much power. Alright. Never heard of a Mark Snyder. El Paso. Cool. Jenny Joseph is Boulder, I believe. Okay, what I was looking at. Environmental bills. Or actually I was looking at specifically. Oh, this one moved to finance. I don't know how to help this one. I guess I can email finance. It says committees. And then it needs to be scheduled in finance, which is where I was. March 25th, April 1st. And then do they just hear all these? I should go down for a finance day and just see what it's like. Okay, we're not gonna do any more bills because I don't know where have the most interest, where I can be the most helpful yet. I need to work on my processes structurally for this podcast because the thing that can have the most impact are the recorded moments of me reaching out to people on a topic they're interested in telling them about this channel, this show, and push to break down barriers between the everyday person and politics. And I need to create those clips, get them out there, build more of that following so that together we can push that energy towards bills that really do have that impacts on our state and how we lead in society overall. So tune in with us more if that interests you, and we can build this communal power, a citizens union or push to improve politics. And look forward to doing this more. Upcoming, I'm working on a really fun education project and product. that is a card game that helps share with people how our system works from the state level to the national level. Some states differ, but overall, we have this similar process. And it took me years to kind of understand. And so, breaking down that knowledge into a game, into something that has legs and allows for creativity and discussion. So, look forward to that coming in April. And more content to be coming to our channel now that I have more time and capacity to do so. So, my name is Braden Miguel. B, Ray, Braden, we're out of here. Vibing on this Friday. I'll be seeing some friends and allies tomorrow. And through the weekend, I'm excited for that, and I'm excited for growth and direction and passion, so many things. But that is where we're going to be tuning off tonight. Thank you. Have a good night. Have a good weekend.